Okay. What up? What up, Trav? Um, I kind of thought I had a lot more to say earlier, and I probably still do, but I don't plan these out that often. So, I was thinking today, my routine kind of got thrown off some. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. That's better. I'm not dashing now, and car's got to get fixed and stuff like that. So, um, got me to opening my Bible up this morning, reading Corinthians, and First Corinthians, and finishing that, and getting on to Second Corinthians, and just putting in that little extra time with Jesus, and just trying to be still and present, and um, learn what I can, and feel what I can, and just try to be guided in that sense. Just give it that time, that honest time to God. And I've been opening the Bible every day. Sometimes multiple times, whatever. And it's not like, ooh, look at me, what I'm doing. I'm just saying that I now have that desire to do that, and it's not something I was even doing a few months ago. Um, when I was kind of putting the group first, and chasing numbers a little bit, and boosting posts, and chasing, trying to get followers, and all this extra stuff that just will be there or not be there, and it's not even about me anyway. Is it cool that the on the spot with Levi last night's got 750 some plays? Absolutely, it is. That's awesome. Um, but it's something that I would like put above the content and the subject matter, um, a little bit more so a few months ago. So when I lost when my profile got hacked, and I was just gone for a while and all that, and I was removed from admin, and just sucked, for a while. Um, my income card was getting ripped off and all that. Um, Come on, buddy. There you go. Not too bad. It wasn't a good time, but it made me gain that perspective of like, well, I feel like I'm doing good, and feeling good, and get this group, and it's doing decent, and building connections and all that stuff, and that's all fine, and that's all still there. It's just the difference is I wasn't opening my Bible that much, if at all, for I don't know, weeks on end. Um, just kind of relying on uh, a, a post of scripture now and then, or a meme, and thinking that was enough biblical knowledge, and it isn't. So I didn't have the desire there. Um, and then I got to like a couple realization moments with Deb, and speak with her about everything, anything that I'm thinking of or going through. She she hears about it, and I hope she knows that she could do the same to me. Maybe more so than ever in our relationship before. Um, but that clicked. I was like, yeah, this good thing that I'm doing, that I feel good about, that I'm filling that void with. Am I still putting that ahead of my relationship with Jesus? Am I just kind of like taking that for granted somewhat? And I was. And whether it had anything to do with the profile getting hacked and being removed as admin, and then creating GBR2, which was just called alumni for a minute, but um, I realized that I got to give God and Jesus more time, and just talking with Him, and getting in the Word, and that's the ultimate gratitude, I think. What other form of gratitude can we have and show? I mean, to our loved ones, kids, or whatever, if not for just devoting some time a day. I hear Nate Aaron Burke say a lot on his lives. We got 15. He's like, you got 24 hours in a day. We can't give them half an hour, 20 minutes, 10 minutes. Oh, spending time with Jesus and getting in the Word. So that's my Nate Aaron Burke. It's a better impersonation than probably what that sounded like, but I was like, yeah, I could definitely give him that amount of time, if not, way more. I don't know how much. I don't sit there and like write down how much time, but it's a desire that's there now, and I think that's something that I couldn't create on my own. And I feel if I miss a day where I don't get to open it, but it's for the last month, it's been definitely at least once, multiple times a day where I'm getting in and reading. So if I don't get in it as much for a day, a little bit more than I can feel that, and I can feel like I need that fuel. I was talking to Levi last night about that's my fuel for everything. So if that's my fuel for everything, refreshes me, gives me a decent amount of energy, focus, clarity, that's my gratitude. If I'm not showing my creator, my savior, gratitude just by spending time and having that desire to do so, what else can I say I'm grateful for? That's how everything is connected in that sense. Grateful for my wife, to have a house to live, a car to drive, whether it's, getting repaired or not, I can't dash. I mean, if that gratitude isn't first and foremost given to God and more importantly shown to him, well, then all my other things that I'm grateful for, that I say I'm grateful for, pale in comparison. I say gratitude precedes me. Well, how was it before I gained the desire to really get in that word? So this things I'm realizing along the way. Anyway, so that's cool. I didn't plan on starting off with that. Doubters. Got a message today. This is the reason I brought that up. The irony of this is, so I don't, my usual routine has been getting up in the morning, going to get coffee and gas and doing my dash, and I hop on there, GBR, a little bit now and then, and whatever, then read, when I get home somewhat, or just cuddle up with my babe, either way. But I still get into the Bible later on, 11 o'clock, noon, 1, whatever, but not at 7 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning. So it was just me and Charles Stanley on this morning. I post pics about it, whatever. And I'm like, this is probably something I need to probably do more often. Even if I do start, dashing again, I should probably at least spend some time in prayer with him, reading a page or two or a couple verses of whatever I'm on, whatever book I'm on, and then start the car up and go. Not even take the Bible with me, but start the day off with that. So I'm reading, I'm into it, I'm feeling good and everything. Get my fuel, hearing Charles in the background a little bit. I'm able to do both now and then. And later on, I get a text from somebody that was banned from GBR a few months back. Dev said not to mention the name. I'm not. So some might know who it is, some may not, but I can't mention the name. I'm not going to. But when I made the new profile, all the people I had blocked were, back able to be on my page and see it or whatever and message me and all this. So this person messaged me out of the blue after, I had him blocked and all that for a while and wanted to know why I blocked him from the group. And I was like, I thought this was covered. I thought I'd already explained this. There were some disrespectful things said and stupid laughing emojis put on somebody's post that they were serious about and sincere about, and in no way in shape or form did it warrant laughing emojis? You know, I don't care if this, I don't care if you got an hour of sober time or 13, 15, 20 years. There ain't no disrespect that's going to occur while I'm admin of this group. Period. If I don't see it right off the bat, I'm going to eventually. That's in the chat or anywhere else. If somebody's sharing what's on their heart and what's on their mind, it is to be absolutely respected. And if you have an opinion or a comment that is condescending or insensitively critical, I mean, you might as well keep it to yourself because it's going to get removed. And this is why I do these inside mostly. Not a fan. And a person's been warned a few other times. So anyway, the message was, wanting to know why. Then I explained that. The next message I get in response to that basically was not paying any attention to what I just said. It was about, well, when you get a page like that and a group like that, you got to expect comments and reactions like that. There ain't nothing you can really do about it. And I'm just like, yeah, I did do something about it. That's why you were blocked. I'm like, I reread what I had sent. I'm like, did I not? I just see that. Then I realized again who I was dealing with and the obvious and clear mindset of this person. And I'm not trying to judge. I'm not judging anymore. I'm just seeing what I don't want to be, who I don't want to be. So I'm sentencing basically myself. I'm like, I don't want to be like that. I've been like that. And I don't want to be. So it's not something that was like frustrating me or angering me in any way or whatever like that. It was just kind of like a why are we here type of deal. Like, this person puts recovery above everything. And it's worked for him in a sense. He's got us clean us over time, I guess. But then after that, it was I was trying to explain a little bit more. I was like, well, let me, try to like, elaborate a little bit on my thoughts and stuff. And it's been a few months, so I was like, listen, I've done falling off, at least in this relationship. I want to say 6 or 7 times, whatever. But every time it was me just trying to do everything my own. I would talk about God. I'd go to church. I'd do some meetings. I'd open the Bible now and then just to be seen that I'm reading it and, get some attaboys and, hey, you're doing good and all that. And, talk the talk and all that stuff. And then, use God, but I never let God use me. It's a thought that never even crossed my mind until recently. So I say that, like that's what the difference is this time. That's why I put God as my recovery, above recovery. If I'm just going to be out there chasing recovery like I chase my drug and alcohol, I'm going to burn out eventually. That's me relying on myself. If I'm going to chase anything like I chase my drug and alcohol, then I'll chase God, as, twice as furiously, because I did all that stuff. And, I get the comment back. Well, see, that's just a parroting phrase of what people like to say to cover up their failures or, their whatever usage. And he's like, I know, because, I seen you or something before. I'm like, man, what? And I don't even know what that meant because I never hung out with this person ever that I can remember ever. And especially this whole last 13, 14 years with Deb. Like, I've never been with this person, hung out at a bar or house, got anything from him. None of that stuff. So I'm like, what does that even mean? I still don't know what it means. So then I was telling Deb, I'm like, it's weird to be on the other side of this. Like, I'm dealing with it and I'm trying to talk to him, somewhat respectively listening, but he's not listening to anything I'm saying. And I'm like, it's weird because, like, you think he'd move on if he feels like, God and recovery should be separate and recovery's work for him in AA. That's awesome. for you. But for me and a lot of people on here in God-based recovery know that there's a major difference, especially we got those life recovery Bibles from Against the Odds Ministries and Phil Tyler, send them out to you. $10 shipping and handling. They're awesome. I got one. You see it every time I post about it. But it's just that I don't understand why. Then, if you're so confident and sure about your recovery and what that means to you and all that, then go about your business and keep having your sponsees and sharing their stories and helping others and helping addicts get clean and get them beds and rehabs and do all that stuff. I applaud all that, but why? Why am I who I'm approaching 10 months clean, sane, sober, and serene? What am I doing? Well, I'm doing it wrong. I don't understand that. I don't get how somebody's become, and not a negative, condescending way or anything, but is there any more left in Lincoln that want to come down 101 North Elm and drive? I just can't stand it. It's a thing. Deb hates it. I just cannot stand loud vehicles. I'm sorry. This person's. I just become indifferent to this person, and I don't wish him any harm. I wish him all the success and wish him the best. Keep doing what you're doing. But why am I so relevant in what I'm doing to you still? I mean, I don't listen to the reasons I gave you, for blocking you and all this. And you're telling me that, I'm parroting a phrase I've never even thought of before. I don't get any of that stuff. I don't get why I'm so important for you to try to influence me to think more like you or try to do things your way when I'm having honest success in my recovery, because I feel I'm recovered in many ways from God, who removed a lot of pain, trauma, and hurt from my heart that always led me to do drugs and alcohol. I haven't had any triggers or really thoughts about none of it since then. And we watch shows, we hear stuff. I told that laugh at the Levi. I'm like, man, I've hear the word crack and hear coke and people doing lines and stuff and whatever on TV or shows or whatever. It doesn't make me want to go do anything or nothing. And it's not even really a negative thing. It's just become something that avenue to which I always walk down eventually to get it when I was relying on myself and not dealing with anything in here that was heart matters, always led me to that stuff. Led me back to it. No matter how much time I had clean and sober, no matter how good life was, no matter how many good things I had in my life, no matter how grateful I was, it was always a bad moment and selfish decision away from going back out there. That's why, for me, God is my recovery. And it's not separate. It's not a separate thing. So I don't know what else to say to the person. It's just, that's what I was talking with Levi last night a little bit about. There's still some people out there that I don't know if they're rooting against me, rooting against me, but it almost feels like they kind of are. This person in particular, because of, it's a small town. So if he hears that I fell off the wagon or whatever, then he could be like, see, it was all BS. And it was, the God thing was bogus. And he was just saying all this and all that. And he's leading with ego and I'm being led by the spirit. That's my opinion. That's what I really feel. And I don't wish the person harm or anything like that, but he is, if somebody was to ask me, who's the person you've heard most people talk negatively about in recovery around this area, he would be the one. I know who a close second is, but I'm not going to go there. So I don't know. I mean, people still may be talking. There might be others that feel just like him, but don't say nothing to me about it. But here's the fun part. I don't care. I really don't care. I'm just amused by it. I'm not messaging him anything or even trying to talk him, whatever. It's not like I'm into debates. If somebody's got their mindset that they think one way, that's you go ahead. I'm just telling you what's working for me, where I'm coming from, and what I'm going to keep doing. Compared to what I've always done. So I even know, more. So I'm more firm in it. But like negative influences, I just read this the other day. I told them about it, but they're like, Paul, see, I'm trying to learn my Bible, man. I want to learn it. I'll never probably know it like Blake Martin, but I'm going to learn it, or Brandon, even for that matter, for sure. But I want to know it to the point to where I could reference what I'm talking about when I'm thinking of certain things or in situations. But I think it was Paul who was saying you got to remove um, certain people from your circle that are just sinful almost by nature, that just revel in it and are boastful almost to a degree about it. You can't, if you're Christ-like and you're doing your thing and you're trying to be obedient and walk that walk and have that faith, and you're just constantly allowing somebody who's just negative and sinful and just the opposite of what you are and what you stand for, then you should remove yourself from their immediate space, your life, your circle, or whatever. Oh, that hummingbird. But to keep them around, it doesn't make any sense. So that's somebody I just feel like I just needed to, wish well and remove from my life. What else was I supposed to do? Like I'm not into debating anything. Um, it's not for me to prove anything to anybody. I've already had that proven to me how great God is by what He's done for me in my life. So that's the only person I owe anything to. Well, person is Deb and my immediates. So I mean, I just owe God all the gratitude and the glory for that. He's already proven to me. And now that I look back on my life, that He's always been there, and He's allowed me to walk in these certain situations where He's had to pull me through them many, many times before. And to not even learn the lesson until later on, which I still am. I'm looking back on certain situations and I'm like, man, that had to be God, because I was not anywhere near getting out of that myself. I don't know why this didn't happen, but He just kept pulling me along to the point that I'm at now. And I think some people, I hear it a lot, that there's no way they'd go back to any of that old life because it's just not there. I mean, I can remember things and I can think of things and have memories and stuff, whatever, good or bad. I mean, there's no good memories, but for sure. But it's just, there's nothing to really go. There's nothing to go back there to, and I don't know if I even could. Like, to be honest, if I made the effort to go back to that lifestyle like it was last year, I just don't think. I think that there would be fail safes set up um, that just would, disallow any of that to happen. But I'm not going to get there anyway, so that doesn't matter. But I just think it's dead and over with. And I guess I'm grateful that this person texted me today and said this stuff to me, and we talked about this stuff a little bit, because it lets me know that I'm doing right and that I am doing good. And even though he disagrees and thinks that he knows better and his way is better, the way he's been taught is better, that's fine. But it's kind of just adds a little bit of extra fuel to my fire. I told him to stay tuned. It's a small town, so you'll be proven right or proven wrong eventually, one way or another. And I definitely don't want nothing bad to happen to him. I don't wish him to fall off or nothing. I hope he dies sane and sober. I really do. And whatever level of faith he's got in God and all that, in his relationship with Jesus, I'm not to question that. I don't know. I'm not going to, belittle that or disrespect that at all, because I'm not sure. I think he is, in a church a lot. He says he separates that. He's like, what's for church is for church, and what's for meetings is for meetings. That's great. A lot of people say that. A lot of people live by that, but man, I don't know. Just God is all that. God is the meetings. He's the literature. He's the big book. He's AA. He's NA. He's the literature. He's all of it. Um, he knows what's going to be shared at the meetings. Every bit of it. He knows how you're going to answer your steps. All that stuff, man. And I don't know. We'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens. I wish him the best. Maybe eventually he could be like, okay, I see. I get what you were saying. Because it certainly isn't going to be the other way. Um, I see what he's saying, and it's the complete opposite of where my mind is these days, and where God just keeps taking me by the day, and it's tremendous. I don't know. He's used to getting a lot of attention. He's got a lot of popularity one way or the other, so maybe he just doesn't think that I'm somebody who deserves to have an awesome group with all these awesome GBR members and family, or deserve to do these awesome, powerful, heartfelt interviews with these awesome people, and to have everything God's allowed me to have. I don't know, because I'm kind of am doing it His way. I still go to meetings. I'm doing my step work. I don't know. It's God first, and then recovery, and then meetings, and then all that, because that's just the way it is. That's the way it should be. Um, Otherwise, I would just burn out, I think, eventually. So that's about all I wanted to do. Get on here and say. Didn't really have a comment section blow up or nothing, but at least I got to get that out a little bit. What is that? A balloon? Anyway, just let go right way up there. Yeah, man, I'm gonna get off here. I got some TV to watch. I ain't gonna be dashing though for a while. There's a nail in the tire on top of everything else, so it's all right. I told Deb, I'm like, all right, I get up. I'm still gonna get up early, get your coffee made, babe, and all that stuff, and probably sit my butt in there on the couch. Let her have the whole bed so she can be as comfy as possible without me, which is stupid, but whatever. And drink my coffees and open that book up, the biggest book, that Bible, and just keep pouring into that, and letting God do what He wants to do. He knows. He knows the gifts and talents that He's given me. He knows the heart He's given me. He knows what convictions are in my heart. Um, it's not about where I want to go, what I want. None of that anymore. I just know that where He's already brought me from and what He's already provided and given me, and provided to everybody else through me and through my guests on the spot, and through everybody sharing stuff in the groups. It's it's that's already more than I deserve. It's more than I could ask for, and it's certainly more than I could have ever came up with and followed through on my own. So knowing that makes me realize and know that I stay the course. I dig deeper. I get more firm in my faith. I get more knowledgeable of that word. I try to get more obedient, more mature, just as a human, and more spiritually mature. Lean not on my own understanding. Lean into other people to know better, um, and just keep doing what God gives me to do. And whatever He brings me along the way, He already knows I'm ready for it. And I mean, it may not just be interviews forever. It could be other things. He knows, and He knows I'm ready for whatever He wants to put on me, and see me follow through with it. So I'm gonna get off here. Thank you, whoever that one person was, for watching. There was two for a minute, but I appreciate you. And there's just stuff on my mind. Just wanted to get that out, and just have a good night to this evening. Let this car thing take care of itself and all that, and just have a good week, and be home a little bit more. Maybe do some more stuff in the morning. Be with the wife a little bit more. if I'm not annoying her. And I love GBR, man. And if this guy ever, I didn't block him, so he's still able to call me and text me or whatever he wants to do. I'm not going to block him. Maybe I've blocked too many people. I don't know. But I definitely, there's no harm in like hanging around him, nothing like that. But I just don't want to have my time wasted by hearing a bunch of stuff that I've already tried, I've already done, and did not work for me. So if it's negative influence and it's also a waste of time, I don't have it. And it'd probably be the only thing we would really talk about, which would be sad anyway, because I'm sure we got other things we could talk about. But we'll see. I pray for him. And hair looks way better tonight than it did the other night. And we'll see where this goes. Invite some people to GBR. You've got some more friends and family. Let's just keep it going. I was kind of worried about how large it was getting there for a while, but the more the merrier, man. Whatever God wants to do. Everybody be good. Be good to yourself first.